So when Rooster Teeth started, we were a handful of friends in a spare bedroom doing something for the fun and the passion of it on the nights and weekends. It was never going to become a career at all. That was bizarre that happened. I remember the day I quit my very good day job. I actually got offered vice presidency of a company, and they were like, you have to choose between your cartoon thing or the company. And I was like, Jesus, that's a tough one, because it's a huge gamble, you know, and I never thought I'd be vice president of anything, so that's screwed. I'll do the dumb cartoon thing. But for the first 7-8 years, Rooster Teeth was 5 best friends. The spare bedroom got larger incrementally every few years, and we added a friend a year until it became like 7 or 8 best friends in a big spare bedroom. But that was the best time in my life. We had all kind of created Rooster Teeth to get away. We all worked in corporate jobs. You know, Matt worked in corporate Hollywood. I worked in IT. Gus and Bernie worked in IT. And that's like that era of or that mindset of like, let's have a meeting to talk about having a meeting to talk about having a meeting, and here's a employee policy handbook that's 742 pages, and here's your sensitivity training, and that's just not fun. It's not a fun way to live. And the idea of getting to play video games and work really, really hard, because it's so much more than that, with your friends in a spare bedroom, and be able to get up every day and know that you're going to do it, even if it's 17 hours, it's so much better than working in that corporate world. And it was the highlight of my life. And as the company grew, as companies do, we brought in more talented people, and we diversified, and we went a lot of different directions. But I never wanted to leave the spare bedroom. So as Achievement Hunter grew, I tried my best to keep us in that spare bedroom, and we're still there to this day. It's a little scary to me that we now have, I don't know, like 11 or 12 employees. We just hired 2 today. And I would say like the biggest the biggest obstacle to Achievement Hunter's growth has been me. We could have probably grown a lot faster, and I just wasn't comfortable doing it. Yeah, it's like it's a really amazing thing when you get 4 or 5 or 6 people together that have this chemistry that it just works. And we had that with Rooster Teeth, and I never thought for a second that lightning could strike twice. And somehow it kind of just naturally gestated through Achievement Hunter. We recreated that chemistry, and I am terrified of screwing with it, right? So I am very slow to hire people. Ryan is a great example. Ryan, I lived in Corpus Christi, 4.5 hours south of here. I made him drive up for 3 interviews before I hired him. And then he really just kind of worked behind the scenes for over a year. Ray made community videos for 3 years before we brought him on board. Like, I'm kind of a jerk, I guess, in some respects. I think I make people work a lot harder to get hired at Achievement Hunter than they probably should. They're all incredibly talented. I just am very gun-shy about bringing a new person, a new entity into this dynamic, because you can't bring somebody new into the dynamic without changing it. But then, you know, look at Ryan is the best example to me. He changed Achievement Hunter in ways that I couldn't have imagined, and he's become everybody's favorite and such an integral part. And I realized not too long after he came on board, and then Lindsay came on board, that I should probably not be so curmudgeonly, which is why we've recently brought on Matt and Jeremy. And yeah, I think Achievement Hunter will probably grow. The challenge is just going to be how to keep it in a spare bedroom, no matter how large. I mean, now the spare bedroom is a 17,000 square foot airplane hangar, but I still want it to be the spare bedroom.